It's the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in. Tune in.
All right, Jasmine, can you share a little bit about who you are, what of course, what you're interested in and what you're working on and what makes you interested in talking about property management?
Sure, perfect timing. I just pulled off the interstate so I could pull over. I
Perfect.
am in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I started wholesaling in December. I start my first fix and flip at the end of this month. And I'm also in the process of purchasing my first residential home. I wanted to house hack, but due to some life changes, my mom will be moving with me and she's not interested in that. So I'll just be buying a single family home most likely. And then I will be purchasing duplexes once I'm settled. So I already have one lined up that is awaiting my purchase, but it's again, once I'm settled in my own home. And I will plan to manage myself for a while. I want to, because I want to know what it's like. I want to learn. And so, yeah, I'm excited to hear your tips in that regard.
Yeah, I mean, Jasmine, that's really exciting. You've got a residential property already in the works, and then your plan is to purchase some duplexes, which is also very smart. Maximize your investment, right? Maximize the number of doors that you can get with single deals. I think that that's a really smart move. Jasmine, what is your last name? I might have missed it. And what kind of work do you do full time, if I might have missed that as well?
Sure. My last name is Honeysucker. I am a document control technician at an engineering firm. So it's like an administrative assistant. Yeah, that's my full-time job.
Okay. Okay, awesome. That just gives me some background on kind of where you apply most of your time. And then as we talk about some tips, right, that I'll recommend if you're going to self-manage, things like developing your systems, things like building your bank of resident communication, things like that. If I know what you're anchored in, then this part should be easy for you, right? Like might not need to bring in somebody or pay for, something that will help you self-manage because you're already working in it. And same for you, Jasmine. Working as an attorney, there will be areas that you're more skilled in and have a background on that will help you along the way in self-managing, right?
Okay.
All right, so ladies, thank you. Did anyone else happen to jump on the line? I certainly don't want to miss any other introductions. If not, then we'll just kind of get caught up if anyone else joins. Okay, perfect. All right, so Jasmine Dulcine, let's actually jump into your question, and then I'll kind of pivot back to sharing some tips and tricks, right? So I know I shared just a bit about my background. Before we dive into that question, let me actually just kind of talk about some of the categories or the areas of focus that I've had in property management. Because if you haven't worked in a formal property management position, it might be daunting to think about what am I really going to be responsible for, right? And there are a number of key areas that you'll want to have some know-how, some understanding of, because there will be a number of them, if not all of them, that you can learn as you go about, or you might want to tap a professional to kind of coach you up on it so you've got some background, right? So in residential property management, I have kind of moved up the ranks. And so I've had the opportunity to work in different areas, from strictly admin and leasing, right? So physically showing units, creating the value that we sell to the prospects when they come in to tour a unit, and we talk to them about, why they should choose us over the competitor. I have done a lot of the admin work as far as the lease preparation and execution, getting the signatures, reviewing documents with prospects, getting their identification, running background screens, and then on to getting them physically moved in, which requires a bit of paperwork exchanged and money exchanged, and then also doing move outs, right? I've also been an assistant manager, which is typically the one that manages the books for the property. So being able to understand resident ledgers, which is really just an account of what they've paid versus what they owe, right? I have had exposure to collecting data on comps, right? And so a comp is something that's very important for you as a real estate investor, because you want to know what else is out there so that you are properly pricing your unit or your home so that it's not too far under for certain, but also not too far over what's out there in the market that's similarly situated as yours, right? Hey, Tony, welcome in. Hi, just talking a bit about some of my experience in the area of residential property management and just some of the categories that you should be aware of. I'm going to jump back to you in a bit just so that you can introduce yourself to our small group, okay? Welcome in. Let's see, I've also served as a property manager, which oversees each area, but is primarily focused on the asset big picture, right? And so that's where marketing is introduced, so that you are spreading the word about your property, that you're advertising it, that you are managing the building properly as far as operations and maintenance, right? Somebody has a leaky faucet, you got to fix that. Somebody has pest control issues, which happen very often with new construction that you don't think about. You got to fix that, right? And then even just kind of being the face of your asset. These days, and this is a bit of a side note, we'll come back to it when I share some more tips. These days, there's so much on the market that you have to be able to differentiate your property. And what I mean by that is, when in the past I've managed with my own company, I have a small property management firm where I focus on luxury concierge service, but I also do management for residential properties. When I've done that recently for clients, we've created a whole brand around their house, right? It's not just like 123 Apple Way is for sale or for rent. It's like Apple Way has become the Apple House, right? And we're calling it some fun name, and we're making sure that it's got some kind of surprise and delight when you go in, right? Like simple things like stocking the refrigerator with water and with snacks when you come in. So when you're showing your prospects the space, you can offer them something that they're not being offered in other places. And that kind of makes them more comfortable. It makes them remember you, right? So simple things like that will just give you a leg up as you look to rent your spaces. My work as a property manager has also shown me a lot about just having a rotation, right? Recognizing that the resident that's in your place may or may not stay forever. And so you have to be prepared and ready to move them out and get somebody in with the least amount of space in between those two residents. And so that means that as you set up your systems, you'll want to be sure that you've got some standard general resident communication, right? Things like friendly rent reminders. Even if you've got somebody that pays rent on time every month, you should still send them a rent reminder, because if ever they slip and they don't pay and you have to go to court, you'll have records showing that, hey, you did your part as the property manager, reminding them that rent was paid and giving them the information that they needed, and they did not do their part, right? Other communication like, hey, hot water is going to be turned off because we have work going on, or your lease expiration is coming up, and this is more so what I'm referring to. Your lease expiration is coming up. Would love to talk to you about renewal. Or if you're not planning to renew, let's get some things signed off on so that I can really start showing the home and getting somebody else in right behind you. Right. So a lot of what you'll be doing as a landlord and somebody who self-manages is setting up your systems, right? So setting up the things that will help automate and make things easy for you so you're not up all night managing an emergency, so that you're not having to over-explain or jump on the phone with your residents more than you need to, because a lot can be shared through emails, right? Making sure that making sure that you've got things that are supporting you and managing your space, so that one, it's managed well and you're taking care of your asset, but two, you're making your resident happy and comfortable so that they're looking at renewal for the long term. Because that is cake. If you've got a good resident in that pays their rent on time every month, that doesn't give you any problems, they take care of their place pretty much. You want to keep them on board for as long as possible because they're bringing in money, and you can look at them if you're making them happy and easily ask for the rent increases every year, right? Rent increases are necessary. They're expected. There may be times where, if it's very, very competitive in the rental market, maybe you waive a rental increase or you lessen it, but you want to keep your residents happy during the term that they're in your place so that you can ask for more money, which is really the key. So I think that that's a good snapshot of some of the areas that you'll be responsible for. Jasmine Dulcine, I'm happy to jump into your question right after we meet Tony. Hey, Tony, you got a second to introduce yourself and just share your full name and let us know what you do full time and then what makes you interested in more about property management.
Okay, great. So my name is Tony White. I am a native of New Jersey and I live in Los Angeles County. Previous jobs that I have had, I am currently a licensed realtor and notary. Jobs that I previously held was a property manager of a 97 unit building for a corporation. And I also did luxury leasing in Brentwood at a 712 unit apartment community. So I'm very well versed, have years of experience in that area of leaky toilets and pest control and a maintenance staff of over 40 people to do, minor repairs to extensive remodels.
Awesome.
All for other companies. So now I'm interested in doing it for myself. I work in case management, 9 to 5. I'm on my job, and I want to be a owner of multiple properties into my middle age. Yeah.
Well, I don't see any middle age, but if you say so. Tony, thank you for introducing yourself. No, I mean, it sounds like you've got a great set of experience just working in property management and having the experience of working for both a small building, maybe a mid-rise, 97 units, and then a luxury rise. Very good. Very good. And so sounds like you want to start a property management company, and that is to manage properties that you own or to also serve others.
Yes. Thank y'all. Thank you so much. I'm trying to cross the street. But yes, for sure. I definitely want to I thought about starting a property management company. I named it and everything. LLC'd it way back in 2000. And I dropped the ball and I didn't commit. Mm-hmm. Oh, sometimes those guaranteed employment makes you skip out on your dreams. So I'm pursuing my dreams at this point.
Very good. Very good. It's so important to have these dreams, even if you put it down for a second, right? Because if it's something you're passionate about, it'll help drive everything else else in your life. And so I think having the experience in property management that you do can certainly open you up to easily revisiting your company that you've already started, formally gotten approved and everything, and then just dig in to maybe help support other real estate investors until you're at a point where you own your own.
Hi everyone, Sam here from the Black Real Estate Dialogue. Make sure to hit that notification bell and that subscribe button, and to visit us at blackrealestatedialogue.com.